Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back to Inspired Delusions.
How have you guys been?
We hope you've been delusional. We hope you've been up. We hope you've been dreaming big.
Dreaming big and being your silliest and goofiest self.
Yes.
And if you're new here, my name is Kayma.
And I'm Olivia.
And we are the hosts of Inspired Delusions.
Yes. We hope you are listening and loving it and you get hooked in. Because if you listen to one, you're going to listen to
all of them.
You're in the community now.
No.
Trapped ya.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But no, we've been getting really good feedback about the podcast, which is really cool. We've been growing really fast. Our average number of plays have been going up. So if you're listening now, you will continue to see our rise to success.
Yeah. It feels like you guys are coming on the journey with us.
Yeah. So we need you guys to hold the vision also.
No, literally, please. And continue to rate us on Spotify and Apple.
Yes.
Because we all see the number of ratings there, and there's
there's a
100 times more listeners
there's a lot
than
of
those ratings. Yeah,
a lot of listeners, not as many ratings, so we're confused. But
what's going on here?
Thank you to the people who have given us ratings. But we're really excited about today's episode because we want to talk about doing the scary thing, being authentic, being vulnerable, because that sometimes is often. It's a little freaky, a little scary, a little scary at first. And how when you do the scary thing, you quantum leap.
Yeah.
Like truly, you quantum leap. And I love this topic because I feel like it's definitely been a journey for me of being my authentic self. And it felt like there's that joke going around on TikTok, I think now, that it's like, why does my body feel the same amount of stress of getting like an email as like, why does it feel like I'm dying? Like, why does it feel like I'm being chased by a bear?
Right. It's like, oh, sorry, my nervous system can't tell the difference between, opening a email and then like being murdered or like something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so weird when something like that of like, oh, you just have to be your authentic self, like just be your normal true self. And it's like, wait, no, I'm going to die. Like, why does it feel like I'm going to die sometimes? Right. So that was definitely my journey when I first started getting into like personal development, being my authentic self, like stepping into my true self. It was so scary. Like, I remember the first time I ever told like my best friend, like my life story that I hadn't really told anyone in a while, or actually I really hadn't told anyone ever. And I opened up like to another level to one of my friends, and it was scary. And why was it so scary? Because she was like, okay.
Yeah, she like didn't even care. She was like, cool.
She was like, okay, like that makes me love you even more. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I love this topic because I've definitely gone through many like levels of stepping more and more into my authentic self, and every single time it like feels scary when I'm doing it, but then it's so well received. It literally makes me quantum leap. It raises your vibration because being authentic is like one of the highest vibrations you could possibly be.
Right. Yeah, I think for me too, like being authentic, it is scary because you're kind of like, will people hear me? Will they understand me? Will they get it?
Yeah.
But obviously when you step into your most authentic self and you're brave and you get over those little uncomfortable things, then you'll start to align and start to find those friendships or loved ones who get you.
Yeah, you're like actual real people,
right?
Your
and then
soul tribe,
exactly. And so then taking off all that stress off of you is like, oh my gosh, like I feel so much better because I'm actually me. Like it actually wasn't that scary. It wasn't that bad. So that's really funny that I made up this narrative in my head that it was going to be so bad just being myself.
Yeah, exactly. And there can be times when if you haven't been your authentic self, like growing up, maybe you heard when you were a kid that like you have to act a certain way, you have to be a certain way, you have to look a certain way to be received, to be loved or whatever. Like that's a core feeling for us as humans. I think it's like one of our main core needs of like
to literally be like
accepted,
loved and be in community and be seen. Like we need that.
Yes, we need that. So then we feel like so much attachment to that, right? And so as you are like, okay, so if you've had those beliefs in the past, right, and we're stepping into being more authentic, like you're realizing, oh, okay, maybe I have been a little bit fake. Maybe I have been a little bit phony. Oh, that word. And you start realizing that, right? You're like, okay, where have I tried to hide myself? Where have I tried to like be a certain way or show a certain side of myself that maybe isn't the most authentic? it's okay as you're starting to step into more being authentic. It's okay if people start dropping away. Like sometimes maybe people in your life were friends with you because you were like being fake, or like the fake version of you, right? They were attracted to the fake version of you, or they're attracted to this. And as you step into your most authentic, vulnerable self, it is okay if people start leaving your life. I would argue most of the time you would be surprised at how many people like don't leave. Like people start to love you even more. Your relationships start to get even deeper. And like, but if there are those moments where people are dropping out of your life as you become more authentic, that's okay too. Like that really, really is okay. It's that saying of like, oh yeah, what you were just talking about of you have to be your real self for your real connections and real friends to find you, to come through, to find you.
Yeah. I feel that I had a moment where I had to really be authentic, or really just look at myself. I think was after college.
Yeah.
In college, I was really trying to survive, and I was really trying to fit into certain spaces.
Totally.
And I was doing things that didn't really align with me. And then I was confused why I was feeling like so stressed out or so self-conscious or so down. And it's like, duh, I wish I could go back to my, young 20-year-old self and just give her a hug and be like, babe, like you are love and you are light. Stand the fuck up, and people will come to you who like align with you, right?
Totally.
But I'm so lucky that we know that now, and obviously we have each other, and now we can tell you guys, because it's a weird feeling. Okay, but it's okay. Like
it's a weird feeling.
It's
being
a weird.
Authentic.
Yes, it's a weird. Not being authentic. I think being authentic is an amazing feeling.
Right.
It's that taking the steps towards that, taking the steps and being like, okay, what actually matters to me? What am I doing? Maybe for others, who am I? Totally. What do I like? What does this mean? And I mean, there's other. Even now, like to this day, like that's something I'm still working on, like being perceived. I hate being perceived because I feel like I can't control what others think of me.
Yeah. Well, you're working there. You hated.
I hate it. But like
through it.
Well, I'm working through it because like, I mean, I'm sure you guys have noticed that I've like just recently made my Instagram public, and like I'm just like now being like, okay guys, like you Posting either are gonna love what you see or you're not gonna love what you see. So I'm being brave by posting more, putting myself out there, not really caring who likes it or not who likes it, because it's something that I like and I want to share. This podcast even, this is crazy. We have so many people listening to us, and I couldn't even imagine this or like believe that this would be a year ago, right? And so I'm just so thankful that I'm stepping into my authentic self at every moment. Anytime I get a chance to level up or be more myself, and I take that and I'm like, okay, whatever.
You're like brave whenever you're brave.
And like I think people get the definition, or they get confused about what bravery means. And bravery doesn't mean that you don't have fear. Bravery means doing whatever you're doing despite all the feelings you're feeling internally.
That's a great point. Great point. I've talked to my clients about that too, because I remember one of my clients mentioned that. She was like, oh, that's so true. Like, even if I'm feeling scared, even if I'm feeling like a little bit anxious about something, even if I'm scared to do it, if I'm having that fear, you still can do it. That's the thing. Like, like you just said, that's so beautiful. Like, did y'all catch that? Being like going to the next level, being brave, doing a scary thing doesn't mean you don't have fear. It means you have the fear and you do it anyways. And I genuinely believe, like I've made quite a bit of content about this, like on TikTok, of doing the scary thing is the way you level up. It's the way you quantum leap. It is the fastest and probably most needed way for you to step into the life that you actually want to live, your dream life. And me and Kayma were on TikTok Live the other day, and someone was talking about this topic, but they used the word terror barrier, and we were like so confused. We're like, what is that?
What's the terror barrier?
And she was talking about this idea.
It's like an idea that Bob Proctor talks about.
Yes, she said Bob Proctor, coined it, and it's this idea that, and there's a book called The Big Leap. I think it's also kind of talking about this, where we have like kind of levels on our life, right? Like when we're at a certain level, we've been doing something for a while, we're comfortable with it, and then you start to level up, you start to go to the next level, your body is going to feel freaked out. Your mind's going to feel freaked out because it's new. Like our brain,
like, no, don't do that.
Our brain,
please.
yes,
like you can't handle it. It's scary.
Literally, like whoa, like this is different. This is new. Like we have to make you feel a little bit scared, make you feel a little bit whatever, because our brain is wired to be to kind of stay in our comfort zone. Our brain is literally wired to stay in our comfort zone because that kept us alive for years and years and years and years. And so now when we realize, oh, your body and your brain's going to be telling you you're going to die if you have to open an email or you have to like post on social media or do something that's actually like logically it's actually not risky, but it's going to feel risky. It's going to feel scary because that's how our brain is wired. And so that is, you know, the point of this episode is being like, hey, if you want to level up, you need to be brave. You need to do the scary thing.
And also, like, I think we talked about this before where our friend was like, are you guys collecting your no's?
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, going out and collecting your no's.
Yeah.
We collected no no's this weekend. Yeah. We collected all yeses just by asking.
Yeah.
And being brave.
Yeah. There's a couple times this weekend where Kayma was actually really brave and asked for, you know, basically asked for special treatment, and we got it.
We got it
like
every single time. One of our friends was with us and he was like, dang, Kayma, like you've got it going on tonight. And I'm like, no, babe, I've been trying to tell you I've had it going on. And it's just a choice. It's just like, okay, what's the worst case that would happen from asking for whatever you want to ask for?
Yeah, it's a no.
Or a no is not that bad. That's where you started anyways. Yeah. That's the exact point where you start anyways. Yeah. So reminding yourself that no is not the worst outcome. Like it's okay.
Yes. And you know what? Thinking of it like energetics and kind of a woo-woo thing, I think that the universe is always watching, right? So if you are doing the scary thing, asking for what you want, like going out of your comfort zone, putting yourself out there, even if that one situation doesn't turn out how you want it to, the universe is still going to be looking at you and be like, oh,
she likes that.
She's being brave. Yeah. Like, let me rearrange some things so the next time she gets exactly what she wants or whatever. So I genuinely think that is what happens in the background. If you are asking for what you want, if you are going for it, if you're putting yourself out there, you are quantum leaping, truly.
Yeah. I think I've shared this story one time or another, but I had left LA for a while, maybe like a year and a half ago.
It was sick that she left that she left me.
I left for like 6 months and I was trying to get another travel contract back out here, and all these things were coming up. And I mean, it was my fault, or not fault, but it was my choice not to take the opportunities.
Selective.
I was being selective with contracts that were coming up, right? Yeah. And so it had come down to, I was like, okay, I'm out of money. Like I need to find a contract. And so with the last of the money that I had, I was like, all right, fuck it. Like if I'm actually moving to LA, if I'm actually going back and finding a contract, then I just need to go. Like why am I sitting in Denver and, you know, being woe is me? I'm not in LA. So I came out here. I put like the last of my money into rent, and I think it was like 2 weeks. 2 weeks I found like the perfect contract and I got offered it later that day.
Yeah.
And so I just like, for me, that was confirmation of being like, okay, I'm telling the universe I want to go to LA, going to LA, but I'm in this negative energy of being like, there's no contract out there that I want. I'm staying in Denver. I'm complaining about it the entire time. So then when I finally made the decision of, okay, I'm just going to go out there. Like I'm saying, I've been saying I'm going out there. So why not go out there? It's going to work. So, and then as soon as that happened, 2 weeks, I'd been waiting for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then it happened in 2 weeks. That was a moment that it clicked for me where it was like, okay, if you want something, put yourself in a position to receive it.
Yes.
And be brave doing that.
That's so good.
Right. And
that's
like,
so good.
Obviously, like I was gambling with rent or with money, but like there's so many other ways, I'm sure, for people to take that risk without maybe it being a financial thing.
Yeah, right. If you're not able to do that. But, you know, there is so much value in betting on yourself and like just that's kind of like low-key law of assumption, being like, well, I know I'm gonna get a job, so you know, putting yourself out there and risking it, and then the universe favors the bold, right? I don't know if that's the actual quote, but it's something like that, like God, the universe favors the bold,
right?
And or history favors the bold. I don't know, something like that. But I genuinely think that's so true. And we have another quote that we wanted to say. The other quote was just feel the fear and do it anyway. So that's what we've been saying, right? Like being brave is just feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And you can start doing your affirmations, being like, I am brave. Like I can do scary things. You can something that I have my clients do actually is, and this is something I've done, is make a list of times where I was brave in my life and then like talk and then think about what happened afterwards, right? Like thinking I'm going to talk about some examples of, maybe we can think of some more examples of us doing scary things, but making a list of when you did a scary thing and then you start looking back at those lists and being like, wait, first of all, I am that bitch. Right. I can do hard things. I have done scary things in the past. And every single time I would, most of the time / every single time it ends up actually working out really well.
Right. If not even better. Maybe it didn't work out, but then later it was revealed to you that it worked out better. Yes. I have so many stories like that.
Exactly. Right. Like, moving to a new city. Both of us have moved to multiple big cities, like by ourselves, did the scary thing, and I'm so grateful that I did. Another very relevant recent example was quitting. Well, both of us quit our jobs, but for me, quitting my job was really scary, and that is a very big example of like, okay, I'm betting on myself. I'm actually doing the damn thing, and then it was confirmed back to me that was the right thing to do with going on TV, right? Like I quit my job and then a week later, the TV show reached out for me to go on. And so that was really cool.
Right. I just recently saw this TikTok of this person asking ChatGPT essentially the prompt of, my whole life, my background, my story, what I've told you so far. If I was a character in a movie, what would the audience be yelling at me to do?
Yeah, like what does the audience know I need to be doing?
Right. Yeah. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, that's such a great little trick that we can all be doing, where we take a step back and just be like, okay, if I was watching from the outside in, what would I tell myself? How would I encourage myself?
Totally.
What would I push myself to do? So I like that.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, that kind of goes with the idea that, it's like your friends, like your best friend, if they're in like maybe a toxic relationship, or they're, in a situation where they're not doing what they need to be doing, you from an outsider can so easily be like, come on, babe, stand up. You can do this. You can be so supportive, like from the outside. And sometimes we are not as brave or supportive or whatever while we are in it. And so that's just like trying to zoom back and be like, okay, no, you can do this. Everything's going to be okay. Like, yeah. So totally.
Right. It's also like, what's the thing where it's like, if it's not going to affect you in 5 years, don't let it affect you in 5 minutes. Yeah. And then just taking that onto a grander scale of like, if me missing this opportunity or me putting myself out there and maybe not getting the results I want, if it's going to affect me in 5 years, maybe I'll let it affect me in 5 minutes. But if not, like not letting it affect you.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
I know this is easier said than done. And I really, really, really know this comes from a place of privilege, but we really need to start being sillier. Yeah. And we really need to start being childlike, and we really need to start loving life because we are so lucky to be here, to choose to be here and to be living this life. And like, there's so much good out there, and there's so much that we can be doing for ourselves and so much that we can do to inspire others. Yeah.
That was so beautiful. No, it's so true. We've said this quote before, but joy is an act of resistance. Yeah. We have been, there's a lot going on in the US specifically right now, and there's a lot of chaos and fear, right? But
heavy on the fear.
And me and Kayma have been really, really, really trying to intentionally be like, okay, well, yes, there's a lot of fear, and yes, there's things that we can do to support our community and stand up for our community, but there's actually a lot of good still going on. There's a lot of ways that we can help and be in our community and be in joy and focus on the joy and focus on the gratitude and focus on the love. Because listen, if there's some evil powers that be, they want us to be scared. They want us to like be hating each other. It's a tactic
to keep us down and to be fighting one another.
Exactly. So I love being like, well, listen, there's still fun. You can still have fun. There's still love. There's still gratitude. So I don't know. That's something that I have been kind of naturally doing for a while. And people used to get mad at me when I was younger, or not even like super, super young, but like a few years ago, I feel like some of my friends would be like, why are you so optimistic? Like, let me complain, or let me think about this in a negative way. And I don't know if it was for me. I don't know if it was like a trauma response of being like, no, I have to stay positive. Like, I just kind of have to stay positive. But it's gotten me far.
Well, I was telling you, like, I used to call my mom to complain about things that were going on. And my mom, you know, she's so deep into her spiritual journey that she would always very quickly find some sort of solution or positive thing to tell me. And it would piss me off, because I was like, Mom, you don't get it. You don't get how serious this is. You don't get how bad it is. Like, woe is me type of attitude. And then once I made that switch in my head, now whenever there's a problem that I run into, I can only look for the positive. I can only look for the good, because that it's a choice. Yeah. Right. Totally. I mean, I still take my time to feel my feelings. I just choose for how long I want to feel bad in my feelings.
Yes, totally. Kind of trying to shorten the time of how long you let it make you feel sad or bother you. Totally. But, you know, and the point of one of the points of this show is to inspire you guys to be delusional, right? To think big, to realize you can manifest anything. And with the topic of this episode of like being brave, I think that being brave goes along with manifesting your wildest dreams, because there's been I've heard from multiple people recently where they were like, well, I don't let myself dream big. I don't let myself expect good things. I don't let myself, feel worthy of like receiving what I want. And I think being brave goes along with being delusional and letting yourself dream big, letting yourself like expect good things, letting yourself be like, wait a second. Yeah. Life actually can be really good. Right. Let me be brave and let me ask, right? That we're tying it back, letting yourself ask for what you actually want deep down. And that can be a little bit scary sometimes, but we can do scary things.
Yes. I'm going to link for you guys the Abraham Hicks Rampage again. I know we've linked it on so many episodes, but if there's ever a moment where I'm feeling a little spooky, I just pop that shit on. It's like 9 minutes and I get so energized. And because ultimately, at the end of the day, everything is ours. Yes. We are abundant beings. Yes. We live on an abundant planet. Yes. There's so much opportunity for us to
get what we want,
right? To win, to succeed, totally. Whatever that might look like. And the cool part is that looks different for so many different people.
Yeah, everyone wants different things.
It's just like, why not just put yourself out there, ask and receive, and be brave and be, fun, have fun.
Totally. And why not use your mind for your own good, right? Or and for the good of everyone, totally. But so many people, that's another point of this show, is realizing and helping everyone, supporting everyone, and realizing that your mind is so powerful. Like, I will say that probably on every episode. But your mind is so powerful. So when you let yourself, imagine the best case scenario, imagine yourself winning, imagine stop not asking for what you want or not imagining what you want because you don't know how it's going to happen. Right. Too, right. Like, so many people get bogged down that of like, well, how's it going to happen? And that's what we also are here to remind you.
Once again, the how and the when, none of our business, you guys. Just let Source take care of it. Like, none of our business.
Yeah, we haven't said that much. We need to bring that back of like, no, that's not my business.
None of our business.
Because me and Kayma will say that all the time. We're like, wait, I want this, I want this, I want this. And we're like, how's that going to happen? That's not my business.
None of our business.
That's literally, I do not care. That's not my business.
Can't give energy to that. Yeah, that's not my business.
All we need to do is use our creative power, our creative imagination power, and being brave.
But something to look forward to. We have our first guest who's going to come on. I think maybe we'll release it next week. Yeah.
But we're excited.
Yeah, we're so excited. We're expanding the community. We're going to get some other voices on here. So yeah, I think we might add another block to our stand store of just questions you guys have or topics you want to talk about, because we really want this to be for everybody as well.
We want some community participation. We want to talk to you guys. You can always DM us,
email us,
Instagram, or email us. Yeah, totally. But we we really do, at least for now, we really, really are able to see everyone's comments, see everyone's DMs, see everyone's emails. So make your voice heard. Like I promise you, actually will be heard. And ask and you shall receive. If there's something that you want us to talk about, ask us. Tell us, babe. we got you.
We have so much knowledge, and if not, we will find someone who's better able to explain it to you guys.
Yeah, totally. No, we know everything. Actually, we know everything.
Actually, just listen to us always.
That's so funny. But yes, we love you guys so much. And we did create another little freebie for you guys of ways to regulate your nervous system, because in the past few episodes we keep talking about how nervous system regulation is the key to getting rid of your anxiety, to feeling more optimistic, to being more delusional, to feeling more worthy of good things,
regulating secure,
feeling safe, secure, regulating your nervous system. So we created a document of like over 10 ways to regulate your nervous system. So we'll put a link to that. Make sure you get that. And
we're like over 10 ways. It's like 11.
Yeah.
But
it's 11 ways.
It's like, it's very simple and very straightforward. And it's all free things that you can do at any point in the day.
Yes.
Very accessible. Yeah. You guys, like come on. Regulate that nervous system. I pinky promise you'll feel so much better afterwards.
There was a woman who made a TikTok that went really, really viral. And I was like, yes, I reposted it, where she was like, hey, all of your problems will be solved if you regulate your nervous system. Like if you're having financial concerns, or you're having anxiety, or you're having relationship concerns, regulating your nervous system is so helpful. Promise. So go get that document. And we love you all so much. If you're here at the end,
last time we were like, last time we were like, hey guys, like make sure you post that you're listening to Inspired Delusions and tag us. And then a couple days had passed and we were like, why is no one tagging us? We had a whole folder of like privated DMs like that. I don't know.
Like the request on Instagram. We didn't see it.
We are so sorry. I think we responded to all of you guys being like, so sorry, I love you guys.
But we're
but we'll be better. We're keeping an eye out. And thank you so much for like sharing and reposting, because that really does help us. And we're so excited. And we will see you next week.
Yes, see you next week.